Democrats passed healthcare reform! This is awesome! Yeah! Am I right? Am I right? No! Democrat-led healthcare reform could make things worse. What? How could that possibly be? Say the loyal Democrats who are totally oblivious to the fact that many in the Democratic Party are on the take from private insurance companies. While the answer is rather simple, the problem is actually rather complex. So first let me explain the problem. The problem is the for-profit insurance model. Now at a risk of talking down to my audience, I'm going to explain some of the jargon for those of you who are much younger than myself and who are on their parents' insurance plans and have never had to give a damn about any of this stuff. So here's how private insurance works. Everybody pays into a giant pool of money. And when people get sick, they have their medical bills paid for out of that pool of money. Or they're supposed to. Now, when people pay into that pool of money, it's called a premium payment. That money will stay there in that pool, going to pay for other people's medical claims. And that money that you pay in will never come back to you unless you see a doctor. Now, when you see a doctor, that's called a claim. Now, when you go to see that doctor, you may end up having to pay a small fee out of pocket, in addition to paying your premium. That small fine is called a copay. Now, when you go to see your doctor, it's not like everything's covered either. Depending on what you can pay for your premium, your deductible is going to be different. So, when you go in to see the doctor, you may have to pay yet another additional amount out of pocket. A deductible is when the insurance company says, okay, we'll cover you for your medical bills, but only above a certain amount. So even if you can afford private insurance and pay into that pool of money every month, and your premium payments are going to pay for the triple bypass surgery of some hamburger addict, if you get into a car accident and need your legs sewed back on, and the cost of your surgery is less than your deductible, you'll have to take the whole thing and pay it out of pocket, in addition to paying your premium. So for all of you libertarians who are complaining, why should I have to pay for other people's medical bills? Well, if you have private insurance, you're already doing that. That's how insurance models work. Now, health insurance isn't like other forms of insurance. With other models of insurance, you don't ever want to have to use it, like flood insurance or car collision insurance. These sort of insurances are only used during catastrophic events. Health insurance, we as a public would want people to use regularly, so that they can see the doctor regularly, and detect medical problems before they become catastrophic events. If we can detect and treat cancer, for instance, in its earliest stages, we can reduce the overall costs of treatment, and we can save lives. But insurance companies don't look at things this way. They're driven by a profit motive. They don't want you to see a doctor ever, because every time you see a physician or a specialist, they lose money from their profit margin, which means angry shareholders, and a slightly smaller multi-million-dollar bonus for their CEOs. So insurance companies do everything they possibly can to deny your claim. They don't see your medical care in terms of humanity or morality. They see your life as being an investment risk. They will allow you to pay into their coffers with the risk that you might end up needing medical bills paid for from time to time. If you're a risk worth taking, then you're going to pay more out of your paychecks into this pool of money than you're going to end up costing the company over the course of your life. Now, ideally, they would have money coming in from every customer and never pay out a single claim ever. That would be 100% profit. That's what they want. For them, it's a numbers game. They aren't interested in saving lives, they're interested in saving money. One cost-reducing tactic is known as the pre-existing condition. Which is to say, if you're a poor investment risk, they can just deny you coverage. A pre-existing condition could be anything. Rape, spousal abuse, pregnancy, obesity, or just generally being alive. Another tactic that insurance companies use to mitigate poor investment risk is to just charge obscene rates to people who can't afford a lot to put in. This can mean either outrageous deductibles where nothing is covered, or just creating a premium rate that does cover you that's so obscene there's no way you could possibly afford it. Now, the CEOs who are best at increasing the profit margin are rewarded with multi-million-dollar bonuses. What's sort of ironic is that the easiest way to increase the profit margin is to deny claims, which is to say their profit margin is to not provide the service that they're supposed to provide. Can you imagine this model being used in any other sector of the economy? Paying plumbers to not fix your sink? Paying lawnmowers to not mow your lawn? But that's what we're doing with private insurance. The profit motive is against them providing the services they're supposed to provide. What's even crazier is that the CEO's multi-million-dollar bonuses come out of your premium payments. So essentially, you're paying a chunk of your salary every month to reward a CEO whose job it is to prevent you from ever seeing a doctor. The profit motive here doesn't work like in traditional models of supply and demand. Medical care is an inelastic good. No matter what, everybody at some point in their life is going to need medical attention. So demand is always at 100%. Plus, with elastic consumer goods like plasma television sets, toys, and gardening equipment, if the price is set too high, the consumer can always withhold funds from the market and wait for the price to drop to meet the lower demand. If you have cancer, you don't have that option. If you withhold from buying medical services until the price becomes affordable, you're probably going to die. Okay, so now that we have an understanding of how the insurance models work, we can talk about the problems with the solutions that are being proposed.
If you like my t-shirts, then you should buy my t-shirts. Come on and buy those t-shirts from me. If you give me money, I'll make you a t-shirt, only because I can't afford to make your shirts for free. If you got money and you don't want it, go on, give that money to me. But if you got money and you want a t-shirt, go to punkpatriot.etsy.com.